Welcome to your BCPS-TV math lesson for Grade 1 Bridges, the week of May 11th to May 15th, Lesson 1. Today, we're going to be solving subtraction problems by using tens frames and make 10 combinations in order to subtract fluently. So you might have seen tens frames before in class. And these are a useful tool because they help us see our combinations to 10. There are 10 boxes in the entire tens frame. So when the whole thing is filled up, we know we have 10 objects in the tens frame. We're also going to be using make 10 combinations. I know first graders have been working on these combinations a lot this year. Here are some examples that you might have seen of your make 10 combinations. Tens frames can help us because we can add easily on our tens frames to show our make 10 combinations. But we're going to be using these tens frames and our make 10 combinations in order to fluently subtract. So that means that we have to think about the relationship between addition and subtraction. We want to be able to subtract quickly and easily. And if we're not sure what the answer to a subtraction problem is, we may be able to use a related addition fact to help us. Quick images is a routine that first graders have used to quickly recognize a quantity, often in a particular arrangement. Students are encouraged to group objects together visually or recognize patterns so that they do not have to count by ones. We're going to play quick images, and I'll quickly show you an image on the screen. Count the number of objects in the tens frame and be prepared to talk about how you saw those objects. Are you ready? It's going to be quick. Did you see the counters in the tens frame? How many did you see? Let's check. If you said that you saw 7 counters, you are correct. How did you see them? Did you count them one by one? You probably didn't have time for that. You might have seen 4 counters on the top row, plus 3 counters on the bottom row, and then you know that that's 7. Maybe you did a little bit of counting by twos by putting top and bottom rows together. And then you added 2, plus 2, plus 2 more, plus the last one, and counted 2, 4, 6, and 1 more makes 7. Or maybe you quickly saw that there were 3 empty boxes. You know that there's 10 boxes in the whole tens frame. And with 3 empty, that would leave 7 with counters inside. Those are some strategies that you might be able to use to help you figure out how many counters are in the tens frame. Let's do another one. Get ready. How many counters did you see? Did you see 3 counters? If you did, you were correct. How did you see them? Did you see 2 counters on the top row and 1 counter on the bottom and know that 2 plus 1 equals 3? Or maybe you saw it the other way and you saw 1 on the bottom and 2 on the top. And that's another way of showing 1 plus 2 equals 3. How many more counters would we need to fill up the tens frame? So in other words, 3 plus what would equal 10? I remember from the problem before when we were making 10 with 7, that 7 and 3 together equal 10. So this time if I start with 3, I can add on the 7 to fill up the tens frame. All right, this is the last one. Get ready. Were you able to count to see how many were in the tens frame? That was really fast. I hope you didn't have to count by ones. If you said that there were 8 counters in the tens frame, you are correct. What were some ways that you used to figure out how many counters were in the tens frame? You might have noticed that the top and bottom rows were the same. So if there were 4 on the top, there's also 4 on the bottom. And 4 plus 4 is a double fact that we know. 4 plus 4 equals 8. Maybe, again, you wanted to do a little bit of counting by twos. So you could put the top and bottom rows together and count groups of 2. 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 more equals 8. And maybe you noticed that there were 2 empty boxes, and you just knew that 8 plus 2 would equal 10. Or maybe you thought about it like subtraction. 10 boxes minus 2 empty boxes would mean that 8 boxes had counters in them. We can use tens frame. Let's try another example. If you're following along in your paper packet or on the lesson that your teacher has assigned you in Schoology, you have a couple practice problems that you can try. You might want to use a tens frame and objects around your house to help you. If you don't have a tens frame, they're easy to draw. And you can use Cheerios or Legos or any other toy that you have around your house that would fit inside your tens frame to help you represent these problems. Remember, think about addition facts that you know that would help you find the missing part of 10. Now it's time for you to try some on your own. This example is in your paper packet, or your teacher may have assigned it to you on Schoology. Draw the dots on the right side of each card to make 10. That's similar to what we were just doing with tens frames. Then write a fact family to match. Remember, there will be 4 equations in your fact family, 2 addition and 2 subtraction. So to figure out what you'll need to draw, you're going to have to count on from your first addend. I see 6 dots in my first card. So now we have to count on 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's how I knew that we had to add 4 more. So 6 plus 4 equals 10. We can also think about it the other way, starting with 4 and then adding 6 to equal 10. For subtraction, we're always going to start with the total of 10 and then take away one part to leave us with the other part. So 10 minus 6 equals 4. And also, we could start with 10 and take away the 4 to leave us with the 6. That's how we get our 4 equations in our fact family. Try the rest on your own. Finally, it's time to show what you know. Problem number 2 is in your packet, or your teacher may have assigned it to you in Schoology. Fill in the missing numbers for the addition or subtraction equations. You can use a tens frame to help you if you'd like. Don't forget to submit this work to your teacher when you're done. Thanks for watching today.